All right, hey everyone, good morning. Okay, we're gonna lie down on our backs with our knees bent. Hey, good morning. Oh, is that your sister? She can come in. Okay. Hold it up. I know. It's okay. I get it. You don't want her to come in? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We're okay. I respect that. Respect walking. Respect that. Good, yeah. Good for you. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and make sure you can see me. Okay. See my mat. You know what? If that's what you want to say, that is your choice. And I honor that.
What's the deal with you lash your toes and your ankles and your calves?
All that stuff, that body focused relaxation,
Yeah, we never do that.
we'll do that today. All right,
Oh, okay.
everyone, let's get started. As you come to lying down on the floor, take a moment and just notice where the body might be experiencing the most comfort. Also, recognizing or acknowledging any part of the body that is aching. Is there any part of the body that is holding tension? Before we move into our practice, staying mindful of those places in the body that maybe have a past injury. It could be places that are a little tight or tender. Think about working around those places. We're not going to try to fix any of that today. We'll allow those parts of the body to just be and embrace a little stillness. As you inhale, breathe in, maybe send a healing breath down into the body. It could be a specific place that you wish healing for, or it could just be breathing into the whole body, breathing in gold light and breathing out white light. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out from the throat and open the mouth for a couple breaths. Relaxing the jaw. The more we relax the jaw, the greater the probability we'll be able to release tension that could be hiding in the body. Now we could keep inhaling through the nose and exhaling from the throat, mouth open, or you could practice inhaling in through the nose, exhale from the throat as if you're going to say ha, or exhale like you're fogging a mirror, but keep the lips together. And as you keep your lips together with that ha breath or with that vaporescent breath, what will happen is you'll begin to hear the breath. This is a technique in yoga known as Ujjayi, the powerful breath. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling from the throat. Couple more. At any time in the practice, if we notice that we get distracted or if we just maybe need a hard reset, we can always bring it back to the breath. How am I feeling? How am I inhaling? How am I exhaling? Use this time as we center the body with the breath to let go of any judgment, let go of any expectations, let go of any competition with the body. Commit to breathing, feeling, listening to your body, and staying in the moment. You can keep the legs extended or bend the knees and place a yoga block between the knees. We'll have that yoga block in the most narrow position. Moving into a strong diaphragmatic or belly breath. Hands can go onto the stomach, maybe even one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. As we inhale, let's push our belly button up into our hand, then let the breath come up to your chest. Exhale, relax the heart, then pull the belly button down into the spine. We're inhaling, filling through the lowest parts of the lungs, letting the breath rise up to the chest. Then exhale, relax the heart and relax the belly. Now, we can always keep this breath. At some point, we might want to let the breath stay only in the belly. Inhaling, imagine there's like a balloon in the belly region. And as we breathe in, that balloon inflates, filling 360 degrees in your body. As we exhale, relax, let that balloon deflate. Maybe tug the navel into the spine so that if there's any stagnant breath, we want to get it up and we want to get it out. Inhale, opening up the belly. Exhale, contracting the belly, little navel to spine, also waking up the abdominal muscles. Inhaling in place, pause at the top of the breath, squeeze the yoga block with as much effort as your body wants to put into it. Exhale, holding that squeeze on the yoga block. Relax the thighs on the inhale, no effort on the legs on the inhale. Pause, squeeze the block, and exhale. Inhaling, big breath in. Pause, squeeze, exhale. Let's do one more like that. One more with that contraction in the legs, working with pelvic floor stability, Mula Bandha. When you're ready, simply breathing easy, let's take our block off to the side of our mat. We might use it in just a moment. Let's lift our left knee and foot away from the floor, placing our left hand on the outside of that left leg or behind the left knee. Let's lift our right leg, right hand behind the right knee or on the side of the leg. Let's point our toes and extend the legs towards the sky, coming into legs up the wall. From here, we can flex and point our feet, creating a flat foot and then a pointed toe, encouraging some healthy blood flow and some mobility in the feet before we put any weight onto the bones. When you're ready, go ahead and roll those ankles out. They can roll in any direction. It is common to sometimes have some sounds. We say the body can get musical sometimes. So sometimes these little snap, crackle, pops. It's also common for one ankle to feel maybe a little tighter than the other. That's not necessarily the good ankle or the bad ankle. Just notice if there's a difference without labeling and without judgment. Let's bring our feet and knees to the same width at the width of the hips. Bend the knees in. We're lowering both feet down to the floor, keeping the knees and feet at hips width. As we inhale, let's extend the arms up as if we're going to paint the ceiling. Then sweep the hands back as if you're trying to paint the wall behind you. Taking a nice big breath, reach with the fingertips and pull the back ribs away from the floor for a moment. Exhale, relax the ribs and press the hands down onto the floor. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhaling, lifting, reaching back, pulling the ribs up, pushing the tailbone down. Exhale, lowering the hands down, pressing our palms beside us on the mat. One more time, we're loosening up the upper insertion point of a major muscle group. We want to loosen that up because it can affect the hips and the legs when we come to standing. We're meeting with our hands down on the mat, pressing our palms down. From here, imagine you have the yoga block between the knees. Push down into the heels, and as we inhale, we're just tilting the pelvis up, and then exhale, lower the pelvis down. A few rocking motions through the pelvis. Inhale, pull it up. Navel is tight into the spine, and then release. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, relax. Adding in a lift if you like. Inhale, pull up and press down into the feet, lifting the hips into bridge. Exhale, slowly lower down and rock the hips back, flat sacrum. Inhale, heel up, press up. Exhale, bring it down and rock it back. Let's do one more. Imagine the block between the thighs. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Let's add in the block. This way we get a little bit of perspective as to how the block could be helping to activate those muscles. The muscles we're looking to activate are in the inner thigh, and they provide bladder and pelvis support. From here, squeeze the block on the inhale, pull the tailbone up, and come into bridge. Keep squeezing. Exhale, lower down, and rock the hips back. Inhaling in through the nose. Steady lift, opening the front of the hip. Exhale, bring it down. Inhaling, little lift. Notice if there's a big squeeze in the butt, try to relax the buttocks. Instead, press in with the thighs and push down into the feet. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do 2 more like that, trying not to squeeze the buttocks. Inhale, there might be a squeeze initially to get the hips up, but then press the thighs in and relax the buttocks. Just 1 more repetition. Inhale, bring it up. Heels press down, thighs press in, and then exhale down. Let's warm up the quadriceps before we move any further. Keep squeezing that block. From here, extend the left leg out with the toe pointed. We're extending that leg out only as straight as it remains comfortable for your knee, your thigh, and your back. The left hip is down flat on the floor while that left leg is extended. Flatten the foot. Let's curl that in nice and slow, encouraging some blood flow to the back of the legs. Extending our right leg, pointing the toe. Holding it there as we inhale and exhale. The breath might get a little shallow, that's okay. Keep pointing, pucker up the kneecap. Now flat foot, slowly curl it in. 3, 2, 1, switching sides. Inhale, sweep the left leg out, 1 big sweep, and then hold it through a couple breaths. Press in with the knees. Try to activate the muscles above the kneecap. Push through a heel, flat foot. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, bring it down, curl it in. Squeezing the knees, extending the right leg, 1 big sweep. Hold it there, pucker up the kneecap, press in with the thighs. Big inhale, now flat foot, curl it in. 3, 2, 1, both feet are flat. From here, we're lifting both heels, keeping the block between our knees. Let's push off the floor so that the knees are in alignment with the hips, and we're keeping that block. Let's press our palms down into the floor. Let your knees sway maybe just an inch or 2 over to the right. If you look at your knees, you'll see already that the left knee is like lower than your right knee. So we're going to squeeze into that block. Pull your left knee up or pull your left hip up so that the knees stay a little more level. We're using the lower obliques and muscles around your left hip here. From here, drop your left hip to the ground and bring it to center. Take in a big breath. Exhale, little tiny twist to the right. And it really is only like 1 inch. And you'll already see that your right knee is lower than the left. Let's lift the right hip, peel it off the floor, activating those muscles deep in the core that connect to your ribs, pelvis, and stomach. When you're ready, bring it to center. Let's do at least a couple more on each side. Twist to the right, lift the left hip. Squeeze into that block, really, really, really tight. This is for endurance. Last week we explored endurance, slow twitch versus fast twitch muscle. Bring it to center, over to the left, lifting the right knee and the right hip. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Remember to smile. 1 more time on each side. Through center, inhale. Exhaling, twisting to the right, lifting that left knee and squeeze. Come to center. Last one. Exhale, twist to the left. Lift the right hip, lift the right knee. Remember to smile. Anytime we manipulate the hips and low back and pelvis, it can create tension in your jaw. Bring it to center. Let's bring our block just off to the side of our mat. Let your knees sway to the left as you exhale, feet on the floor. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale, sway to the right. Keeping that rhythm, every inhale, coming to center. Every exhale, gentle twist. We're just wringing out those muscles in the lower part of the body that have been working so hard. Maybe twist one more time on each side. That way we feel it's evened out on both left and right for our bodies. When you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto one side. From side lying, we're staying here at least a breath or two. Let's give the spine and the muscles in the body a little bit of time to come out of that position where we've been weight bearing. So if you're concerned about muscle and the bone density in your spine, just lying on your back is weight bearing. We don't have to do anything crazy. From here, let's push down into our hands. Y'all know what I mean, right? When I say we don't have to do crazy things. Yeah. Come on, go to the gym. You see the crazy all the time. Just walk, just walk. Yeah. 10 feet down that way and stand at the door. You'll see crazy things. All right, let's extend the legs. We could always sit on a blanket from seated, or you could roll up the back of your yoga mat and maybe just sit on that little perch. Let's take a healthy bend into our knees. Women especially, we say, oh, I'm not flexible. And then we get to this position and it's like, we end up having lots of flexibility in our legs. So keep a nice bend here. Look at the feet. And if you want, you can even put your yoga block at your feet for the next movement. We're going to work on isolating the muscles in your spine. So what usually happens when we twist, we tend to do this thing where we push with one leg in order to compensate for the twist. So what we're trying to do is, if you don't have the block by your feet as a marker, you want to keep your feet touching the whole time. And the knees are going to stay touching the whole time. They're not going to slip or move. Let's inhale the arms overhead. From seated, imagine you're climbing a rope, Navy SEAL style. Reach. Reach. Anybody used to do climb the rope? Jane Fonda. Nobody did that? Richard Simmons. He did climb the rope. I used to do Richard Simmons. We sweat to the oldies. So good. All right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, start twisting to the left. We're lowering that right hand across the body. So as we twist to the left, we might want to think about pushing our right hip back while we twist towards the left. So the left shoulder is twisting back, left hip is pushing forward, right hip pressing back, right shoulder pressing across. That's the hatha, opposite energies coming together to create balance in the practice. Close your eyes and just notice, where is the breath going? Where is it going? There's no right or wrong answer to this. Now, maybe from that place of breath awareness, begin to shape the breath. As you inhale, imagine you're pushing the breath up against the left side of your chest. Now imagine that the breath is going under the right shoulder blade. We're using the breath to open up any tight connecting tissues close to the spine so that hopefully we have greater mobility and we're also a little more stable. Let's come to center with this. Easy does it. Inhaling, arms overhead. A little bit of climb the rope. When you reach with your left hand, push your left hip down. Reach with your right hand, push your right hip down. When you open the left side, better digestion.
Open the right side, liver health. That's gonna take care of all those old fashions, right? Staying on this side, right? Now reach.
One and once.
I haven't had a drink since,
Christmas.
Christmas. Christmas. You were there. I was feeling mighty fine. Inhale, reach. Thanksgiving, I was in rear form. All right, let's bring it around, slowly to the left. From here, if we're twisting towards the right, think about the left hip pressing back. So the right shoulder's going back, right hip is pressing forward. Left shoulder is twisting over the body, left hip is pressing back. Completely opposite movements through the trunk of the body. Now let's find the breath. Option to close the eyes and lower the chin. Let the breath do all the work. All the magic is in that breath. Inhale, breathing into the upper right lung on the right side of our chest. Notice at the top of the breath, we maybe can sit a little taller. Now find the breath under the left shoulder blade. Using the breath to stretch out the chest, the muscles under the shoulder blades, and also around the spine. Let's take our seat time, bringing around to center, traditional seated staff position. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, bring it back. This is one of the few times that I'm gonna say, put your fingertips behind you. Y'all know that I'm all about this for this, but this is different. So you're gonna reach back. Imagine you're holding on to the ballet bar, right? And if you're holding on, you're anchored, you're gonna come forward, but imagine that energy is pulling you back. The hips are flipping back a little bit, shoulders pressing away from the ears, you're hugging against your kidneys. So important to detox the kidneys, working on that water element, but also flushing out stress hormones. Anybody felt stress ever in their life? Of course you have. The only people that say no are heavily medicated. Yeah. Fine. It was funny because my president of the school I work with, she started this transcendental meditation. And I was with her one day, we were drinking margaritas. I go, how's your transcendental medication going? I was like, I didn't even mean it. But are you heavily meditated or heavily medicated? All right, inhale, lengthen. Lead with the heart. Imagine kind of like a puppet. You have a string pulling up towards the sky. Go ahead and lift your chin so we can stretch the lymph nodes in your throat. We can look up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Continue to reach back, press the shoulders down. We're squeezing along the lymph nodes under the armpit. One more big inhale. Exhale, slowly begin to come forward. We're trying to push our stomach against our thighs. So we could always bend the knees a little more if we want to, and try to get the belly to press against your thighs. This is helping to flush cortisol out of the gut, more stress hormones. We can always bring our hands around to touch under the knees. Maybe we reach towards our feet. You are more than welcome to touch your toes if that is a comfortable reach without strain in the spine. Relax your jaw as this is stretching through your low back and pelvis. Big inhale, bigger exhale. Exhale is more important. Big inhale, bigger exhale. One last one. From here, let's slowly let the hands come in by the body for support. We'll allow our knees to go over to one side, coming around towards the front of the room. If you have that little perch or anything behind you, go ahead and clear out the space behind the body. We might want to use our block to assist us coming into standing. Otherwise, come on up any way you're comfortable. Hands might come to the block so we can find a lunge. Seeing the feet are at the width of the pelvis bones, bringing our bodies up to standing. From here, as we look straight ahead, we can find the pelvis bones, different from the fleshy hip. Whenever we say hip width in yoga, it can be very confusing because in true yoga therapy, it's the pelvis bones. So it's not out here. This is a diagonal angle on your joints, greater risk of injury. So you want it to be more narrow. From here to the knees, there's a straight line down to the ankles, shooting out the second and third toes. Let's roll the shoulders back. Fingertips are reaching to the outer edges of our feet. Flip the hips back a little bit and keep the knees soft. And remember to smile. Everyone's looking way too serious. Too much attention. Big inhale, big breath. Reach it up. Look up. Turn the pinkies in towards each other so you get a nice rotation in the shoulder. Palms forward. Inhale. Exhale back. Let's do 2 more. Big breath in. Reach it up. Pinky fingers come in. Press it back. Palms forward. Sip the breath. And then exhale back. 1 more. Big stretch. Big inhale. Pinkies in. Sip the breath. Exhale back. From here, let's bring our hands to the heart. Stepping our left foot back. A very casual stride. A short stance, warrior 1. Let's bend our right knee. As we look down, we can see all of our toes. If you cannot see your toes, it could be hurting the knee joint. Let's inhale the arms overhead. Big breath in. From here, we're patting ourselves on the back with our right hand. Sweeping the left arm back and around. Coming into cow's face arms with our warrior stance. Push down into the back edge of the left foot. Lunge forward a little more, and then draw your right shoulder back. The stretch is from the right hip to the left shoulder, and from the left hip to the right shoulder. So it's a crisscross stretch on the body. Now imagine you just woke up, and you're gonna do a big yawn, like Sleeping Beauty style. Ready? It's, all this beauty, I just woke up. Just woke up like this. Yeah. Big inhale. And exhale. Option to close the eyes. All we have to do is close the eyes, and that could recruit a little bit of a balance challenge. We don't have to stand on one foot to work on balance in our nervous system. Breathe into the upper right lung. Big inhale. And exhale. Let's lower our right hand to the low back. If it's comfortable, we could lace the fingers together. Left leg is back, so it's left thumb over right today. Rolling the shoulders back. Let's straighten our right leg, but check in with the knees. Make sure they've got a little bit of an angle in them, just a little bit. Because y'all know what happens if you lock your knees out, right? Anybody did choir, band? Yep, pass out. Or circulation, so tiny little bend. Inhale into the heart. Pull the shoulders back. Maybe look up again, stretching through the throat. Big inhale into the center of the chest. Now exhale, look forward. Flip the hips back. And we're only coming forward maybe a third of the way today. Not too much effort into this. Imagine somebody's pulling back on your hands so that the shoulders are pressing away from the ears. And we're exaggerating the openness across your chest. This is to work with the lymph nodes draining from your throat down into your gut. Big inhale. Exhale, maybe come down a little more. Let's take the hands onto the right thigh. Moving into pyramid pose. We can hold it right here. This is a supported pyramid. Or we can walk our hands down our leg. Maybe we have our block from just beside us or in front of us. We could reach for our block in front of that right foot, and we could shift forward just a little bit. Hang the head and shake it yes. Turn the head left and right. Exhale from the throat. The bigger the exhale, chances are, the more we're going to release tension in the back and hips. Notice on the exhale, notice how you can hang a little more like a rag doll. When your body is ready, let's bend that right knee a little bit, bend the left knee a little more.
We'll walk our hands up onto the right thigh, supporting the spine. Reverse swan dive, coming up, traditional warrior one. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Let's step forward to find our mountain foundation. Spreading the toes out, shoulders are down and back. Stepping our right foot back, casual stride. Keeping a nice strong foundation in the feet. You can roll around in the soles of your feet to find that sweet spot where you feel balance. Little bend in the left knee. We can see all of our toes. That's how we know that the knee is safe. Inhaling, bringing both arms up and overhead. Patting ourselves on the back with the left hand. Taking the right hand down and around this time. Cow's face arms. Stretching as if you just woke up. We can look down as if you're trying to maybe look down past your nose and cheeks. You could look straight ahead, aligning the spine neutral, or you could look up just a little bit, opening the throat. Breathe into the upper left lung. Imagine your right hip is pushing back. Now breathe into the right lung and push your left hip back, stretching diagonal across the body. Let's bring our gaze to neutral and bring the left hand to the low back. Option to lace the fingers, and this time it's right thumb over the left thumb, which feels so strange. It feels weird. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, straightening the left leg, both knees stay soft. Big inhale into the heart, open up, look up towards where the wall meets the ceiling. So that gaze, when we're looking up, the head is not hanging back. It's just enough extension to stay within a spectrum of functional movement, right? We need to be able to look up once in a while. Big inhale. Exhale, look forward. Knees stay soft as we flip our hips back and come down with maybe just a third of our effort. Holding it there, big inhale. Maybe hands leave the back and press back a little more. Shoulders moving away from the ears. Relax your jaw. Jaw relax. Good. Big inhale. Exhale down a little more. Hands come onto the thighs for support. Supporting the spine first and foremost. Big inhale. Exhale, relax into it. We could always hang the head loose. We could reach for our yoga block if that's comfortable as well. Shake the head, yes. Turn it left and right. We're practicing 3 exhales on the exhale. Imagining the body is like a rag doll. Let it all go. Inhale. Last one. To safely come up, let's bend both knees. Walk the hands up to the left thigh and pause, making sure blood pressure is happy. Reverse swan dive. Warrior one foundation. Exhale, relax the hands back, and let's step forward. Inhaling both arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, take it down towards the floor. Standard forward fold. Hanging the head loose. Hands can go onto your thighs, your shins. We could bend the knees deeply so that we take some rounding out of the back. From here, we're making our way down towards the floor, stepping one foot back and lowering our knee. Then the other foot back. Let the feet go over to the right and sit down just for a moment. Inhaling, arms coming up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Hands are coming down and we're lowering down just like a push-up. Keep the left hand on the floor. Inhale, come up. Left hand stays. Right arm comes up. Open it up. Palm is up. And look behind you. From here, push off the floor with the left hand. Big inhale. And then exhale down. Let's bring the knees to the other side. Inhaling, both arms up.
Exhaling, twist towards the right. Let the hands come down. Push up position. Keep the back hand on the floor. Inhale, bring it up. Front hand comes up. Palm facing up, looking behind us. Let's push off the floor. Arms come up, big breath in, and then exhale, bring it down. From here, lying on our sides, we don't need our blocks for any of the poses, but we can certainly use them if it's comfortable to have as a pillow. Let's roll over onto our backs. Now let your body decide for itself what it might be craving right now. Maybe you want to stretch out like a stick. We could decide that we want to have our knees hugged close to the chest. We could decide that we want to have our knees bent and maybe do that twisting motion again. Take a moment and really just tune into the body's preference for movement or stillness at this time. Our time in class is all about creating our own personal practice in the group setting. So anything that's taught, it's just a suggestion. These are things to try, but ultimately we tune into our body's authentic needs. Let's all take our time coming to a still point for final relaxation, Shavasana. Legs can extend out or they can stay bent. Hands can be out, palms facing up usually helps to open the chest. However, palms facing up can also put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. So we could always try putting our hands on our stomach. Notice your toes, take in a breath. Now, crunch the toes down, make the toes really tense. Exhale, release the toes. Bring awareness up to your buttocks muscles. Inhale, squeeze the buttocks and the hips as tight as you can. And now exhale, let it go. Think about the hands and shoulders. Make a fist, pull the shoulders in tight. Inhale. And then let it go. Think about the muscles in the face. Really roll those eyebrows in. Contract the eyes. Take it in, inhale. And now let all that go. Now let's do it all at once. Contract your feet, your glutes. Make a fist. Pull the shoulders in. Crunch up the muscles in your face. Take in a big breath. Whole body tense. And now let it all go. Focusing on breathing easy. The energy we focused on today is in the throat. This is the 5th chakra. The color of this energy is bright turquoise blue. So as you breathe, perhaps feel your body floating in a turquoise blue light. You might even allow your mind to wander to a place where you saw a turquoise or aqua blue water. As you exhale from the throat, without making a sound, imagine that the breath is releasing H-U-M, Imagine that you can see with the third eye. Breathing in blue light into the mind. Exhaling that blue light. Envisioning the space where we feel the most peace. Where we embody the most balance. Breathing in that feeling of peace, the feeling of balance. And smiling, noticing the expression on our face will change when we embody balance and peace. Om Shanti. When you're ready, you could stay right where you are. You do not have to move at all. But if you think your body is ready to transition eventually to seated, wiggle your fingers first. Maybe move the ankles and the feet a little bit. If the legs are straight, let's bend our knees. And we might all want to let the knees sway just a little bit so that we can bring a little bit of awareness into the low back and the spine. To keep our blood pressure happy, we roll over onto one side and breathe there at least a breath or two before we slowly make our way up to seated. We had a special request today for a mudra. I like a special request. You take your hands, hold on to your thumb, wrap the fingers around, hold it right here. That's it. Kidney health. Okay, you might also need to drink extra water, right? This isn't enough. This does not take the place of, water. Sitting nice and tall. Lower the chin. What are the kidneys significant? Why are they significant in yoga? The kidneys help us to flush out toxins relative to feeling guilty or feeling ashamed. Not to say that you need to work on your kidneys for anything emotional, but that's what they are for guilt and shame. Releasing any grudges we have against ourselves. That's what guilt is. Oh, look at the bad things I've done in my life, right? And then you also release shame, which is, am I a bad person? No, you're not a bad person. You're human. Big inhale, bigger exhale, maybe a bigger squeeze, in case you think there might be some stuff in there. Big inhale, bigger exhale. As Brene Brown says, if you don't find any regrets in there, you might just still be living like an asshole. So you might want to check it. You might want to check it if you have no regrets. Inhale, arms overhead. Is there no cussing in yoga? I didn't get the memo. Exhale, bring it down. From here, hands come to the heart. Traditional closing gesture of namaste. Namaste, everyone. So have a beautiful day. Thank you. Have a great day.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Ooh, right on time.
Girl, it's hard. It is hard to do 45 minutes. It's hard. I feel like I'm in the Kentucky Derby when I get to those last 10 minutes. I'm like.
Great.
But your other class is now, right?
Yes.
And this is 45 minutes.
Mhm.
I always get it off.
Why is this
1 hour and 45 minutes?
Just the way they did it. I don't know if, you know what, I wonder if maybe they had another class they were trying to squeeze in. And maybe that class didn't make, that's why no one's here, but I know that they try real hard to squeeze us all in.
And Monday seems like they have a lot of classes.
Yeah. Mondays, people go hard, usually on Mondays. Yeah.
Is that the one that Cameron?
Yeah,
They're drinking and eating.
at 1 o'clock.
Oh, Susie's 11?
Okay, then the other one.
She's in the other room, piano.
Oh, no.
I started at 11.
That's our Wednesday class is 9:30 or
Yeah.
9:15.
9:15.
That room, yeah.
over there.
Oh, same thing over back.
No, that one is a stability and strength class, so it's similar, but not the same. And actually Melissa Terry goes to that class.
We're in that phone.
It's a little different. It's a different format. But it's all women. Yeah, and I mean, as long as we have all women, I do think about everything we do anatomically is gonna cater to like.
Is your sister in the?
Our bodies, our alignment. It's easier to control.
I'm just 4 years old. It's all, so she's in Colorado.
Yeah.
And she's very secluded. It's her daughter, this year. So you was and start spreading something.
One more month. This is what we do.
I was here walking yesterday in what stage? They were on this one.
My Dutch viruses are coming up again. Again, at the end of December.
It's actually, it's like a little bit different. Yeah. So
I saw it. So obviously the picture because this is focused on like right.
What is it? Gopher? It was like a gopher dressed up like a little lady with a robe and shoulder. It's possibly like the wire. It's not gonna be.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah. So we are just devastated as a family.
She's still here. Bye, Judy. Have a good one.